everybody, I'm Nintendo James and happy Halloween! The time of scaring little children and toilet papering your neighbour's trees. And as it is Halloween, what better game to talk about than my worst nightmare? Wreck-It Ralph, the Nintendo DS. I'm gonna correct this, aren't I? For those of you who've been living under a rock, Wreck-It Ralph was a 2012 movie about a video game villain called Ralph, who was tired of being treated unfairly by the other characters in the game. And so he went off through different games trying to prove himself while accidentally causing chaos that could potentially get the whole arcade shut down. A fairly simple movie narrative, but memorable and charming characters, except for freaking Vanellope, and familiar world chock full of Easter eggs led to an all-around very good movie in my opinion. And as this movie was set in a video game world, it wasn't too much to expect that the tie-in game wouldn't be too terrible, right?
Saying that though, I must unfortunately inform you that the developers of the Wreck-It Ralph game fell asleep at the wheel and careened into the nearest tree.
So you start the game, listen to some of the most unfitting and uninspired music I've ever heard. And then you're presented with, is that a cheat menu? And wow, this game has 3 whole boring and lazy cheats to mess around with. Thanks, Wikipedia. But anyway, let's check out this obviously epic story through the first undoubtedly awesome and action-packed cutscene.
That's me, Wreck-It Ralph. The one with the anvil hands and the breath that smells like a dead animal. Or burnt cabbage, depending on the day. Anyhow, I'm a bad guy. Capital B, capital G. But I'm not a bad guy.
This is probably one of the laziest excuses for a cutscene in anything ever. Here we have static backgrounds, static pictures of characters, terrible audio, no music.
You probably know my friend and associate, Felix. And the gal he married, Sergeant Calhoun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, Mr. Wreck-It Ralph. You're telling me that Felix and Calhoun are already married? This game takes place after the movie? I mean, seriously, not only does that ruin all potential for a future sequel, but wouldn't kids who enjoyed the movie, who this game is marketed towards, rather play through the movie that they loved so very much? I don't understand it.
Anywho, after that rotten little crumb snatcher Vanellope, who also happens to be one of my best friends, was restored to her rightful place as president of Sugar Rush, things were going pretty smooth. But I digress. That's the problem with bugs. If you see one, there are a million more hiding in the shadows, just waiting to rain on your parade. Metaphorically, of course.
Shut up! So yeah, everyone, the story here is that the Cybugs are back. How? Well, how do you think of that? Even in the first cutscene, which even for a kid's game is supposed to sell you on the game and keep you invested, it isn't explained how the Cybugs returned. There's no story here, and so why did they even make it take place after the movie? It doesn't make any sense. So now we're in a tutorial and you can do this. I don't know what, and this tutorial brings forth everything else wrong with this wretched game. Clunky controls, horrific music looping. Yeah, that's great, well done. And the fact that every time Ralph charges, he goes... So the main gimmick here is that different platforming challenges require either Ralph or Felix to get past them. Ralph can smash crates and is better for attacking at close range, while Felix can double jump, fix things with his hammer and fit in small gaps, as well as attack from range by throwing his hammer. And honestly, that's one of the things I quite like about this game. The constant character switching is never too much or frustrating, and the fact that you can easily switch with a simple press of the L button and there's no major delay when switching makes this a very welcome feature for me. So naturally, Game Central Station acts as the hub world between the 5 level worlds. So let's dive into the first world, or game, Felix Jr.
I hate to see my beloved home like this. They're eating everything.
Hopefully Gene's Macarena records too.
Let's head over to the brick pile and work our way up the building.
What? Aren't you already there? Sorry, Felix, I think you need to whack your hammer into your eyes because they clearly need fixing. And then Ralph falls from the sky and we get to hear the beautiful that he does when running off even the tiniest of ledges. This level also shows how hitboxes don't make the slightest sense. See, Ralph picked up this coin and killed these Cybugs without touching either of them. What? Soon enough you end up at the Nicelander's penthouse from the movie, and one of the things that this game does is actually cool. You can climb to the top and grab pie. A small thing, but it's very similar to what Ralph and Felix do with the penthouse in the arcade game. Very nice in my opinion. Unfortunately, even that they managed to mess up, because this is one of the parts of the game that really brought out the horrendous controls. To get up the penthouse you need to use Felix's double jump, but sometimes you can reach the next platform, sometimes you can't. It's completely random. and sometimes you'll reach and Felix just doesn't pull himself up, and you spring off of things at random as well. I swear I didn't press anything here. None of what these controls are trying to do works. Later in the level there's also this section where, look at this, you can't see what's to the left, and since the game never tells you that for whatever reason you can somewhat control the camera, odd design choice if you ask me, if you go to the right you will not only be in the wrong place and not know where to go, but there's also this wheel arrow that's pretty much unavoidable and does damage. Oh yeah, that's fair, isn't it, game? Isn't it? And the platforming and level design, I have to admit, are goddamn ridiculously awful. It's as if someone who'd never played a video game before played the first level of Bubsy 3D and then went, okay, so this is how you make a platformer, okay team, let's go! I honestly don't think I can explain how bad this section is, but I'll give it a go anyway. So here you have conveyor belts pushing you backwards, and also these blocks that can't only damage you by a downwards force, but also by touching the sides. Yeah, I don't get it either. So you have to stand in the gap between blocks and wait for them to rise so you can move on. However, the problem here is Ralph is too big to fit in the gap, and when you play as Felix, the jitteriness of the controls make precise positioning an impossibility. And with the very anticlimactic death of this cyborg, we've beaten the level. So time for Game 2, Hero's Duty. I think Ralph may hold the secret of flight. So anyway, let's check this level out. That's better. I mean, Hero's Duty in the movie had similar music, but that worked as you couldn't hear it too well over the dialogue and gun noises. But this sounds like something straight from Xenoblade Chronicles X. Also, when Ralph reaches the top of a ladder, this happens. Look at this segment here. You have to flip the switch to make the platform come down, but when you have to flip it again to make it go up again, the platform isn't close enough to stand on it and flip the switch. It isn't too bad honestly, but why did they design it that way? And I really don't want to bang on about the controls any longer, but seriously, these tiny platforms are ridiculous. You have to jump on one and then jump over obstacles while managing to land on the platform afterwards. Pretty basic stuff. But sometimes Felix just clips through the thing and then oh no, you have to start the whole thing again, even though it's the stupid game's fault. I'm gonna cry! And after the lamest puzzle I've ever done, this level is also finished, so time to give my ears a break. There are literally cyborgs behind them!
Wrecking is fun. Wrecking for a good cause is great. But wrecking with your best friend is the best!
I don't know how I've only just noticed this, but what the hell is Ralph's walk animation? He looks like Uncharted Winner! So naturally, this world is Sugar Rush, and I have to say, this is nowhere near as bad as the other two. Still bad, but a lot better. The level design is a tad more inspired, and the music doesn't sound like turd. Although there are far too many sections that rely on Felix running around and fixing stuff. I don't really have any more to say about this level. It was better than the others, but still bad because of the controls and very basic mechanic and level design. And I honestly couldn't bring myself to play any more than that. I can't imagine that the other levels in the world are any better, and I have seen walkthroughs to see what the bosses are like, and they're pretty dull, especially seeing as you have to beat all 4 levels in all 3 worlds to unlock the bosses. You don't just beat the worlds they're in, you have to beat all of them. So now I'll just go over some stuff about the game that I did or didn't like. First of all, the characters, as I said, aren't frustrating because of the switching. That I rather liked. But the writing, as you saw in the cutscenes, is awful, and the animations weren't great either. The voices and sound effects for each character are also annoying as hell. For instance, I hated the sound that Ralph makes when he runs off even the tiniest of ledges. And Felix has a melee attack with his hammer, which is just completely useless, as if an enemy is that close to you, then you won't be able to do anything, and to top it off, the attack does a whopping nothing in terms of damage. Presentation and graphics I didn't think were too bad. I mean, the DS's graphics weren't the best, I'll just say that, but these honestly aren't bad for the tech. If you put this and New Super Mario Bros. Side by side, you can see they aren't too different from a graphical perspective. But mechanically, everything this game tries to do falls flat on its face, and since when I was younger I loved the movie, and so the potential this game had, especially as the movie was based around arcade games, made it all the more disappointed when I realised this game was total trash. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is one of the worst games I've ever played, but it is certainly more akin to diarrhea on a cartridge than a game. And so before I end off this video, I'm gonna give this game what it deserves. Here, Wreck-It Ralph, you see all these good game characters? You're not one of them! Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my first review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Anyway, I've got a new Twitter, which is on the screen right now and in the description. Please go follow me on there if you want updates and stuff. My last one kind of broke, so I've had to make this new one. And in my last video, I was a little bit vague that collection videos and other random videos aren't going to be stopping. They're just going to be a lot less frequent now that I'm doing reviews and top 10s as well. So my next video is going to be an unboxing of the Pokemon Ultra Sun Fan Edition. And then after that, I'm going to have a collection video for Zelda month, so Zelda collection. Yeah, so I hope you stick around for those, and see you then. Bye.